Hey guys, it is Numismatic back with you today for some arrivals videos. Pretty crappy weather in London today, but it was very nice when the post arrived this morning with this box that arrived via FedEx from Spink in New York. So a few weeks ago they had a sale, and I was lucky enough to be able to bid for a couple of coins that looked pretty good on the online catalogue. So two coins arrived in this package, and both of them look very, very interesting indeed. The first one that you're seeing here is an 1821 sixpence. So what attracted me to it really was the crispness of the detail and the blue-grey toning. And I thought it was a great looking coin when I saw it online in the auction catalogue. It's not disappointing in any way in real life either. I think it looks great, and I've been looking at the NGC census. There is one of these, I think, graded a 67, and that's the highest grade. And I'm hoping that this one will grade at least a 66. So I guess we'll see when it comes back from grading. So the second coin here, as you can see here, is an 1831 copper. So it's a halfpenny. It's not a proof, it's a regular circulation coin. A bit of a kind of funny old mark there on the neck, but generally it appears to be in pretty much choice uncirculated condition. Should grade pretty well, and altogether a really, really nice coin. I mean, it looks almost as good as the proof that I've got. Hoping for very good things for this one as well. If you guys have been watching my videos recently, you'll know that I've become a little bit of a sucker for this kind of George IV, William IV period before Queen Victoria. Don't know how long that infatuation is going to last. I'm building up a pretty good collection of coins from this era, and I think it's a pretty nice era to collect and focus on. Pretty small period in terms of years, but time will see where this little collection takes me. Meanwhile, with great thanks to our sponsor, The Coin Connection, for agreeing to another month of 2% discounts. That's 2% off everything with the special code Kevin. Yep, Kevin, Kevin. This next little arrival is one that I've been waiting very eagerly for. It was an auction from an auction called Timeline Auctions, a company that I hadn't bid with, but seemed to have one or two interesting things. They specialise in antiquities, and they're based in, I think, Harwich, so somewhere pretty well out of London, but an interesting auction house. So you can see the coin that I bid for is a coin that was described in the catalogue as an off-metal shilling. So in other words, a 1949 shilling that, instead of being minted on a Cupro-Nickel blank, for some reason had been minted on a copper or bronze blank. I couldn't find any reference to this coin at all in any of the catalogues, but I put the picture up on a couple of forums and people thought it looked pretty good. And you know, the idea behind it seems to be that it was some kind of special, or it may be the wrong kind of blank got into the coining machine and wasn't noticed. I don't know. I don't know how it arose. And I don't really know whether it's kind of genuinely copper. There's a little bit of a ding there, and I'll show you a little bit closer. And interestingly, the little ding, when you look at it up close shows a little silvery colour inside it. So it makes me believe that someone has kind of plated or treated a Cupro-Nickel coin, and it's not really a copper coin at all. So having seen that, I telephoned the auction house and I said, well, can I send you the coin back so that you can check it in your XRF scanner and tell me what the metal composition of this coin is? So today, after photographing it for you guys, I sent it back to them, and they're going to run it through their scanner and let me know exactly what this coin is made of, and then maybe we can see whether it's a coin that is actually interesting, or it's been doctored in some way, whether it should be refunded by the auction house. So it's wide open at the moment. I'm not making any conclusions, and we'll see exactly what the investigation and the XRF scanner shows once that's been done over the next few days. And as soon as I get news, then I'll let you guys know. That brings us on to the last package that we have, and this is a package of sovereigns that a friend of mine bought via a Facebook forum. So these sovereigns, there's a number of sovereigns here, and they're well packaged, and they looked in the pictures on the forum, which I also saw, to be in pretty good condition, and they've been sold by a member of one of the forums who's very, very active on the forums, selling fairly high quality bullion, and so maybe these coins are worth a punt, thought the buyer, and maybe they should be graded. Sometimes, even though you buy these coins as bullion, that they grade a little bit better than expected, and people have an interest in them as numismatic items, even though they started life as coins being sold for maybe bullion or bullion plus a little bit if they're in very good condition. So all of these coins have really been chosen out of the stack of bullion because there is something specific about them which makes them interesting, and not necessarily totally run-of-the-mill. So let's have a look at each one of them and see if we can spot what makes them a little bit more interesting than usual. So you've got a George V sovereign, and George V sovereigns were produced in a number of places, and this one is a 1918 George V sovereign, and you can see here the little eye mint mark just on the base of the St George, and that eye indicates that this was minted in Bombay in India, and the mint over in India only ever produced sovereigns for 1 year, 1818, and then not after that. They produce quite a lot, so they're not exactly rare at all, but they are interesting. And a lot of people who collect sovereigns like to have at least one of those Bombay sovereigns in their collection. And of course, with the sovereigns being produced since 2013 in India, it's nice to have that contrast and comparison. This next one, you can see just on the mint mark line, if you saw it there, has an SA. So SA stands for South Africa. 1930 was one of the years when the South African mint had a slightly different portrait, a small head portrait of George V. So those are also pretty widely collected. Not an amazing extra value for some of these, but a higher collectability. And when it comes to grading sovereigns, it's interest and collectability which really matters, probably more than anything else. So all these sovereigns are in pretty good condition. I think that one looked to be a 1916 London Mint sovereign. So let's take a look at this next one and see what's special about that. Let's have a look at the next one and take a look at the mint mark on it. If it's a London sovereign, it won't have a mint mark. Otherwise, there is a mint mark on all of them. So another George V sovereign, and we can take a look and see which mint produced this coin. And we can see that it's in pretty good condition. Looks to be around about 61, 62, probably no more than 62, maybe 63, 1919, and you can see on that mint mark line the little letter C for Canada, and this was minted in the Ottawa Mint in Canada, and they produced sovereigns for quite a long time actually. There's a lot of different Canadian sovereigns to collect, and they're all quite rare compared to their Australian and London counterparts quite often. And here's another one. This one's an SA Mint sovereign, 1928, South Africa as well. So we had a 1930 SA and a 1928 SA, a 1919 Canada, 1918 India, and that 1916 London Mint as well. So all of these sovereigns are gradable. How much does it cost to grade one of these sovereigns? You're looking at roughly £30–35 grading them via NGC in the UK. And it's quite a good thing to buy these kind of coins because the premiums are not massive over regular sovereigns, and sometimes you can get quite a good price uplift on grading those kind of coins. So hope you like the video. Let me know what you think. Look forward to seeing your comments as always.